How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to take a look at the back pages and what is going on in the world of football. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal because reports are suggesting that a deal has been done for Anderlecht midfielder Sambi Lokonga.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So, of course, the first place we're going to start at the back pages and what is going on in the world of football. And I suppose the big story of yesterday would be Harry Kane. Manchester City have submitted a £100 million bid for Harry Kane. Now, there are add-ons. There are players being involved in this deal. Some of the names being mentioned. Gabriel Jesus, Laporta. And also Raheem Sterling. Now, I'm not saying all three of them. I'm just saying there's some of the names that are being mentioned that Manchester City would look to include in a deal. But what they have said is they can guarantee £100 million up front. And the reports are suggesting that Tottenham are going to refuse it. I think they're mad to refuse that. I know he's their best player. And I know that they're going to be far weaker without Harry Kane, but that's a lot of money in the current situation we find ourselves in the world. You know, that's a lot of money to turn down. But yeah, Manchester City, they're kind of caught in two ways. Do they want to go and, you know, have a prolonged, you know, tussle with Spurs because Daniel Levy, he's difficult to negotiate with. If he doesn't believe that that's the price he wants, he's not going to give in. He will try and squeeze every penny out of any club that want to buy one of his players. And Harry Kane being the prized asset, it doesn't change that. It makes it even worse for any club trying to get him. And from the reports, they're suggesting that Daniel Levy has made it very clear that he intends to keep Harry Kane. And he doesn't want to let him go. Now, the one thing that you can say, and I don't know whether you look at the first two performances for England and use it as some kind of, you know, way of saying, yeah, it's something on his mind. But is this weighing on Harry Kane's mind? Is this something that's affecting him on international duty? I don't think it's as deep as that. But the first two performances haven't been great. And he does look off the pace. And he does not look like the same player that you normally see in the Premier League for Spurs. So I think that, you know, a lot of people are probably, you know, putting two together and coming up with five. And yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that Manchester City ain't going to go away. Maybe another bid in there, maybe a little bit closer to what Spurs want. But I can't see this being the kind of deal that gets done at the final piece of the window. It's something that Man City will want to deal with now. But yeah, they've made their intentions clear. They've made their bid, and Spurs, they've rejected it. Now we're going to go into the rest of the back pages, and Manchester United plan to make Paul Pogba the highest paid player in the Premier League with a new 5-year deal worth £104 million. Staggering. Now, of course, they don't want to lose him for free. We already know this. But if they're going to keep him, they're going to have to pay big money. Eden Hazard fears he will never be the same player again after an injury-ravaged 2 seasons with Real Madrid. He certainly doesn't look like the same player, and it's a shame because when he left Chelsea, he was serious player. And yeah, he don't look his former self, does he? Barcelona chief Juan Laporta claims Manchester United and Liverpool were the real founders of the controversial European Super League. Very, very interesting. But it wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. And I wouldn't pull it past those two clubs, or the owners in particular, before I say clubs, the owners, that will come up with a plan like this. But interesting. The Daily Telegraph, now they touch on this Harry Kane situation, but they say that he faces heartbreak over his dream move to a Champions League club, with Manchester City unwilling to get drawn in a prolonged transfer saga. And again, that's kind of what I was stating earlier on, that Manchester City won't want to get, you know, in a bit of a tussle, a tug of war. They'll go in there, they'll offer the money, what they think, take it or leave it. Leave it, cool. They'll move on to someone else and they'll go and buy them. But yeah, what can you say? England are prioritising remaining at Wembley over a potentially easier last 16 opponent as they head into Tuesday's crunch clash against the Czech Republic. Now, of course, we've all seen the permutations and everything else. England finished top of the group, and they will play whoever finished runners-up of the group involving Germany, France and Portugal. And Hungary are in there still with a shout. Let's not write off them. Because you've got to remember, they were 0-0 against Portugal until the 84th minute. I know the scoreline finished 3-0 and it looks very flattering, but they were still in it. And they drew with France. So, interesting. But what that does mean is that if they win the group, they stay at Wembley. If they don't win the group, they will get a potentially easier time, maybe against Sweden, with all due respect to them. I think anybody would rather face the likes of Sweden than potentially France or Germany, a team like that. But what that does mean is that the game won't be at Wembley. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. And yeah, we'll find out tonight. It's as simple as that. UEFA have launched disciplinary investigations into allegations of offensive incidents during 2 Euro 2020 games held at the Puskás Arena in Budapest. I don't know what the ins and outs of this are and what the real reasoning behind it, but it'll be interesting to see what that is. So that's pretty much it for the back pages. Yesterday, a bit of a quiet day. Harry Kane situation kind of dominated the headlines. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Last piece of news involves Arsenal, and reports are suggesting that they have agreed personal terms with Anderlecht midfielder Sambi Lokonga as negotiations intensify for the 2 new signings. Now, of course, the other one is Ben White. The London Giants are working to finalise a deal for Lokonga, who's 21 years old, as well as defender Ben White, as I was saying. Now, this Lokonga deal, I don't know a lot about him. They put an opening bid of £13 million in. It was rejected, but with the add-ons and everything that they're looking to go back with, this is a deal that they feel they can get done. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I've seen a lot of him or know a lot about him, but I have listened to a lot of people, within the game that watch a lot of Anderlecht, and they say that he's their gem. He's the jewel in the crown. He is their main boy, and their prized asset, shall we say. And they reckon that Arsenal will get an absolute bargain and a player for years to come in Lokonga. But again, like I said, I can't really say too much about him in terms of what he plays like, because I've not physically seen him or seen a lot of him. And I'd be a hypocrite to sit here and say otherwise. I suppose you can watch YouTube videos, and yes, I've done that, and he looks great. But listen, I can pull up YouTube videos and I look great. Don't mean I can play football anymore, does it? But yeah, this looks to be the one that could be the first over the line for Arsenal. I think the Ben White situation, I'll wait till the Euros are out of the way and everything else, of course. But I do feel this may well be the first one through the door. Sambi Lokonga, midfielder from Anderlecht, and potentially a very, very good signing, but we will wait and see. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.